The Hundred Years' War was a long and complex series of conflicts fought between England and France from 1337 to 1453. It was one of the most significant conflicts of the Middle Ages and had a profound impact on the history of both countries. The war was marked by shifting alliances, dramatic military campaigns, and important technological innovations, and it ultimately helped to shape the future of Europe. The origins of the Hundred Years' War can be traced back to the early 14th century. At the time, England and France were two of the most powerful and influential countries in Europe, and they were engaged in a bitter struggle for control of the continent. The war began when Edward III of England, who had a claim to the French throne, declared war on King Philip VI of France. The early years of the war were marked by a series of English victories. In 1346, the English won a major battle at Crécy, where they employed the longbow, a new weapon that proved to be highly effective against the French knights. In 1356, the English won another important victory at Poitiers, where they captured King John II of France. Despite these early successes, the war was far from over. The French were able to regroup and mount a series of counteroffensives, and by the mid-15th century, they had succeeded in pushing the English out of most of their French territories. The turning point of the war came in 1429, when Joan of Arc, a young French peasant girl, helped to lead a French army to victory at Orleans. Joan of Arc became a symbol of French resistance and helped to inspire the French to mount a successful counteroffensive against the English. By 1453, the English had been pushed out of all their French territories except for the port of Calais, which they would hold on to for another century. The Hundred Years' War had a profound impact on both England and France. In England, the war led to a period of economic and social upheaval, as the country struggled to pay for the cost of the conflict. It also led to the rise of a new class of English merchants and landowners, who would go on to play an important role in the development of the country. In France, the war led to a renewed sense of national identity and helped to establish the French monarchy as one of the most powerful institutions in Europe. The war also helped to accelerate the decline of feudalism in France and paved the way for the rise of a centralized, modern state. The Hundred Years' War was also significant for the military innovations that were developed during the conflict. The longbow, which had been used to great effect by the English, became a staple of European warfare, and the use of gunpowder and firearms began to increase. The war also saw the development of new tactics and strategies, such as the use of fortified positions and the employment of more mobile cavalry. In conclusion, the Hundred Years' War was one of the most significant conflicts of the Middle Ages. It had a profound impact on the history of both England and France, and it helped to shape the future of Europe. The war was marked by shifting alliances, dramatic military campaigns, and important technological innovations, and it ultimately led to the rise of a new class of merchants and landowners in England and the establishment of the French monarchy as one of the most powerful institutions in Europe.